Hi, this is Percy. I'm back, and sorry, I had a phone call. Anyway, so I'm continuing this video from this point. Basically, we got to the point where we booted up off the hard drive, off the virtual CD, asked for whether or not we want to check the media. I hit skip because I know that it is a good ISO, so there's no need to do that. And now, what we're going to do is after we hit skip, it's going to bring us to this screen right here. So all you have to do now is just follow the prompts, and we're going to do that right now by hitting next. Choose your language. I'm going to choose English. Keyboard type, US English. What type of devices will your installation involve? And in this particular case, it is actually a basic storage device because it will look like an existing regular hard drive. So hit next, and it's going to say that I've got a 12 gig disk here, which is the Virtualbox hard disk that we created before, and it's going to say no partitions or file systems, so we'll just discard any data because it's completely blank. And now it's going to ask for a host name for this machine, so we'll just call this percy.swinginginthought.com. Obviously, you can choose anything you want. Here we can hit configure network. 0 is actually the Ethernet device, a default Ethernet device in CentOS. So let's just edit this and connect automatically, so it'll automatically turn on. Automatic MTU, normally it'll just default to 1500. So we'll just leave that, let the system manage that for now. Again, this is just for the purposes of this installation. And what we're going to do now is do this. Hit apply. I'm using the keyboard because this recording software obviously is causing some problems with my mouse, but that's fine. And I'll just hit apply. And now we're going to go to close, and you'll click on close. And let's see if this we can get this thing working. Hold on. We captured the mouse. There we go. Now we'll go to next. Choose your time zone. New York is the closest to me, America/New York. And put the system clock to UTC. This is going to be for the CentOS install. Hit next. Here you choose a root password, and I'm just going to choose something. Type in whatever root password you want to use. Just be smart about it and make it actually secure. Of course, something to remember. If you can't remember it, then you should write it down, at least for the purpose of this install. Hit next. You have provided a weak password, yada yada yada. Yes, and I know it is a weak password because I'm just doing this just for the purpose of this video. Use anyway. And I'm going to choose use all space on the existing virtual hard drive, and I'm going to hit next. And it's going to say that the partition scheme is now going to be written to the disk, right? And it's creating the file system now. This will take a couple of seconds. And now we get to the next screen, which is what type of CentOS installation you would like. For the purpose of this, I am going to choose software development workstation. You can choose web server, whatever you want. Some people like minimal. In this particular case, just choose software development workstation, or how about basic server? You know what, let's just make this simple. Let's just make it a desktop. Well, actually let's not, because I don't have enough video RAM. Well, I do have enough, but I'm just going to make it a software development workstation. And I'm going to hit next. Here you can add additional software repositories. There's no reason to do that because we're installing off the DVD. And let's hit next. And now it's just going to run through the ISO for this DVD just like it would normally, and it's going to start the installation process. Now again, this is going to take time. Every machine will do it either faster or slower depending on what the throughput is, your CPU utilization, and how much RAM the virtual machine has. So in this particular case, it's going to be pretty quick because I've dedicated 6 cores of i7 goodness to this and given it a fair amount of RAM. Don't remember what I gave it, but good enough. So now it's installing the packages. So this is effectively installing CentOS to my virtual hard drive. So we've got 49 out of 1487 packages complete. Alright, I'm going to, I can either wait or I can not wait and talk about other things. So I think I'll wait and talk about exactly what this is doing. Right now we are effectively installing CentOS off of the DVD, the virtual DVD, onto the virtual machine. You'll have to do this with Windows, with Mac OS, with FreeBSD, with any OS you want to install. And as you can tell, this is zipping along pretty quickly because I'm mounted off an ISO that's on an SSD drive and installing onto a Thunderbolt array. So in other words, I'm trying to get as much speed as I can on the install. Again, your system may be slower. The great thing about this is after this is done, we will be ready to boot up into CentOS. It should take a couple more minutes. So while we're waiting, I want to definitely let you know that Virtualbox is an excellent tool for testing, when you want to install applications. It's a great learning tool. You can install multiple operating systems and multiple virtual machines. You can have more than one running at the same time to test your own little network lab if you would like. As long as you have enough RAM and CPU on your computer, you can definitely do this. You don't actually have to buy physical machines to do this. That's what makes Virtualbox wonderful. So as you can see, we're already a third of the way there and we're just chugging along. This is also a great tool for prototyping an application development. You can use this for everything. Some people use this for testing. If you're a software tester, you can actually test your website or your application against multiple operating systems. You just need to have a license for those operating systems. This will run Windows fine. It will run Mac OS fine. It will run most of the flavors of Linux fine. So all you need to do is just wait, and that's exactly what we're doing right now. So now some packages will take longer to install, other packages will take much less time to install. In this particular case, this package is taking, well, as you can see, it's chugging through it. Almost done. I think I am actually going to pause the video and resume it after we're done with the install. Okay, be right back. Okay, we're back and it's completing. We're on our last package. So this should actually be ready to go to the next step any minute now. Let's just see what's going on. So again, this is just a CentOS thing. It just takes a longer time than usual to actually get these packages installed, but no longer than it would take to install any other OS. And in this particular case, it looks like it's doing package cleanup. Again, we can't tell, and there we go. Post installation, installing the bootloader. Any minute now, it will be ready to go. So we'll just wait. As you can see, and there we go. CentOS installation complete. Now it's going to ask to reboot, so we're going to reboot. And there we go. So just going to wait a couple seconds. And now the virtual machine is rebooting. Alright. There we go. Hopefully that'll take care of it this time. And this is exactly what your CentOS box would look like if it were on a regular hardware PC or hardware just in general. So this is nothing new. And always the first boot takes a little longer than usual, but that's expected. Does with every OS. And there we go. Looks like we're almost done. Chug, chug, chug. And let's see how much longer this is going to take. Alrighty. And any second now, that bar is going to hit the end, like now. There we go. And bingo! Congratulations! Here's our first boot up screen, so we'll just go through this. Agree to EULA and user license agreement. Username, let's create a username. Let's just call this one Percy. And just, alright. And it's gonna complain about a weak password again. Again, I'm just kind of doing this for the purpose of this video. Use it anyway, yes. Synchronize date and time over the network. Let's do that. It automatically has some NTP servers in here. No reason to change those. And now it's starting the NTP service. Chug, chug, chug. There we go. So now let's hit finish. Kdump is kernel dump, by the way. And we're just going to hit yes. Now we'll reboot one more time. And this should do it. We should be now in a Linux, a Linux/CentOS Virtualbox. It's now still doing the clean shutdown and writing out the configuration to the disk. Done. Now it's rebooting. Just gonna wait. And now you'll notice that this time around, the boot is going to be much faster. So let's see. Very little disk activity. In this particular case, it has to do with the fact that this is now just CPU bound. And alright, almost done. Chug, 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 chug. Something good happened there. And let's see what happens. This will boot up properly, people. And there we go. In this particular case, yes, we did install the Windows Manager, and we can log in as anything we want. Here's our pre-configured user, and I'm going to type in the password I used. Click login, and guess what? Congratulations, we should now be installed in a CentOS box. And let's just test it. That's Mozilla Firefox. And there we go. Let's just make sure that we actually have network connectivity, which we can say that we do. Congratulations. This is your own your very first VirtualBox install, CentOS. Now we want to shut it down. The proper way to shut it down is, of course, go to the system within the VirtualBox and just hit shutdown. Now it'll give us a couple of different options. We'll just hit shutdown and we are done. Well, that's it, people. That's how you install CentOS on a VirtualBox, and that's how you use Oracle VirtualBox. One of the other nice things, again, is you can modify the hardware configuration on the box as you need to. Okay, have a nice day.